Well, hey there. Welcome to this episode of RA Raw. My name is Lori MacLean, and I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, also known as rheumatoid disease, at the age of 2. And it's here on this YouTube channel that I share my experiences with you in hopes that it will help you with your journey. So in this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about the 5 tips that I have for someone who is newly diagnosed. But please, if you are not newly diagnosed and you've been living with the disease for a while like me, stick around because there just may be some tips in here that you too can find useful. But first, I need to take care of a little bit of housekeeping. There is new merchandise available over on Spreadshirt. That's where I have taken the bulk of my designs and transferred them to. So this is merchandise that is geared towards those of us with rheumatoid arthritis. Now, I don't know about you, but I have seen all kinds of merchandise online, and it's generic. It all looks the same. Well, with my merchandise, you're going to find stuff that is actually designed by a warrior for warriors. So things that I would like to wear, and hopefully you would too. So the link is in the description below. I am on TikTok, and I do share quite a bit of content on there. I try and post something every day.
Little darling,
the clouds
it's
stay
been
rolling.
a long, cold, lonely winter.
But remember,
Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here.
the sun is still
Here
shining
comes
behind
the
those
sun.
clouds.
Doo-doo-doo.
So I share stuff like that over on TikTok. Again, the link is in the description below. Of course, we also have a Facebook page, and you can find all kinds of things on there as well. And I can't forget about Instagram and Twitter. So basically every social media outlet that there is, you'll find me on it. Anyway, let's get into this video and let's talk about the 5 tips for the newly diagnosed. So, you've just been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Maybe you've been having symptoms for quite a while. Many of us do. Many of us have symptoms for years and years and years, and it may take some time to get a diagnosis. So when you do, it's a huge relief, but it's also scary. Just know these do not go in order of importance. It's just things that came to mind. The first tip that I have for you is if you don't want to go on a medication that your doctor is prescribing, don't. Remember, it is your body, it is your choice as to what you put in it. Now, I'm not saying that alternative is the way to go, and I'm not saying that modern medicine is the way to go. Personally, what I do is combine the two. So I am on Humira, methotrexate, and Celebrex. That has been the game-changing trio for me. I have been on methotrexate for years, decades in fact, and on its own, it was helping, but it wasn't taking me from, being extremely stiff in the morning, having pain. It wasn't eliminating those things for me. I was still living with stiffness, pain, and swelling. Once my doctor added Humira to the mix, that really was a game changer for me. Again, I am not saying that that's the case for you. Do your research on the medications. Look through it with a, let's say, an unbiased eye. If you search for the negative side effects of things, you will find the negative side effect of things. But do your research. Find out what these meds are about. Find out what other people's experiences have been. Again, you can put 5 of us in a room, have us all on the same meds, and all 5 of us will have a different experience. But know that most likely your rheumatologist is going to try certain things to begin with. If you respond to them, then he or she will leave you on those things. If you don't respond to them, or if your numbers aren't dropping enough, he or she may add another med to the mix. Again, this is not me saying go on the meds. There's also some really compelling evidence for naturopathy, for the natural things as well. So as I said, I combine both. One of the things that is part of my daily ritual is meditation, and there are some meditations here on the channel that I have found to help, and I hope they help you. There's all kinds of things out there. Again, do your research. Tip number 2, take time to process your diagnosis. You are going to go through emotions. You're going to get angry. You're going to get scared. You're going to get sad. You're going to get frustrated. You have to go through all of those emotions in order to face this disease head on. You may have an image in your mind of, say, for example, your grandma or another elderly relative who has lived with the disease for years and decades prior to the amazing advancements in medication. Even though I was diagnosed at a very young age, there came a time when I had to process that. And honestly, folks, I didn't do that until I was much older. I spent a lot of time pretending like I didn't have this disease, like it didn't affect me. When the reality is it does. It affects everything that you do. But you will learn to live with this disease. You will find new ways to do things. I promise you that. There will be bad days, but there are also amazing days. Amazing. Which leads me into the third tip that I have, and that is to find a support team, a group, anything. Other people who have also been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Other people who have lived with this disease for longer. I am so glad that you have found this channel. It is through this channel that I try to give hope, that I try to give you encouragement, and I just basically throw it all out there and say, this is the reality of living with this disease. Yeah, some days good, some days bad, but the good, wow, they are good. There's support groups online. There's a group on a website called My RA Team. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. It's a massive help to talk to other warriors. I know in some cities across Canada and the US, there are actual meet in-person support groups. So look those up. If that's something that you're comfortable doing, is going out and actually meeting with other people, do it. I really, honestly, highly suggest getting a support group of other warriors. Tip number 4 is don't underestimate the mind-body connection. This has been something that I have really delved into in the last 5 or so years. Rheumatoid arthritis flares are often triggered by stress. So the first thing you will want to do is learn to manage stress. Stress is a part of life. We can't get rid of it. But if you can learn to manage it through self-care practices, if you can learn to recognize the signs that your body is experiencing stress, you can get, somewhat ahead of that flare. One of the biggest tips that I can give you is to not underestimate that mind-body connection. I talk about meditation so much on this channel, and I just cannot express enough how much it has helped me with day-to-day life. Learn to take time to not only take care of your body, but to take care of your mind as well. If you wake up every day and the first thing that you think of is how much pain you have, if you wake up feeling dreadful of the day ahead, if you wake up and think this disease is horrible, I cannot go on like this, your day, quite frankly, is going to suck. And that's going to be in the forefront of your mind the entire day, is the pain and what you are feeling. On the other side of things, if you wake up with gratitude, saying thank you for this day, thank you for what I am about to experience today, thank you for the moments that lie ahead and for the things I will learn, I guarantee that your focus will be better, that your ability to deal with this disease is better. In the next few weeks here on this channel, I'm going to be exploring mindset and how it affects. And furthermore, I'm going to be talking and showing you how to change your mindset. It takes time, but with practice and persistence, you can change your mindset. And the 5th tip that I have for you It's not really as much of a tip as it is just this. You will be okay. I promise you, you will be okay. This disease has taught me so much. This disease has given me so much. I can feel you're sitting there and you're thinking, how can it have given you anything? Yeah, RA can take a lot from you. It makes it difficult to, to move, obviously, to do simple tasks like put toothpaste on your toothbrush. Opening a jar of pickles. I've talked about that before. How that is like a nightmare. And I love pickles. I honestly do. But I've learned ways to open them. If no one is home and no one can open that jar of pickles, I have some hacks that I use. I can honestly tell you this. I would not be as strong, as determined, and as focused if I didn't have RA. It's taught me to be resilient. It's taught me to be stubborn. There is always a way. Always. And yes, you will be okay. I promise you, you will be okay. I'm not saying that there won't be bad days, because we all have bad days, regardless of any diagnosis of any type of disease. There can be bad weeks. There can be bad months. There can even be bad years. But if you pull apart those years, those days, those weeks, you will find that it wasn't all bad, that there was something good in there. Going back to mindset, it's all about that. It's all about where your mind is at. But as someone who's had this disease for 42 years, I can tell you, you are stronger than what you think. You are more courageous than what you think. And you are way more determined than what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, because as I said, in the next few weeks, we're going to delve into mindset. It's important. It honestly is. So on that note, I am going to wrap this episode up. Remember, there's all the description, there's all the links in the description below that I mentioned in this episode. So please take the time and check them out. Until next time, take care. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.